All right, let's dive right in. Today, we're talking about something that's totally shaking up how we all create content. I mean, if you've ever spent, hours just scrolling and scrolling for the perfect image for your blog post, you know the pain. It's a drag. Well, what if I told you that whole process is getting automated by AI? It's a massive game changer. So let's get into how it works.
Yeah, I know, it's a huge question, right? But it really gets to the core of what's happening here. When you have technology that can just create unique, perfectly fitting images whenever you need them, you have to wonder, are the days of digging through those old generic photo libraries officially over?
And this right here is the whole story. The old way was just a nightmare. You'd search forever, worry constantly about getting a copyright strike, pay a fortune for subscriptions, and for what? Some generic photo that 100 other blogs are already using? But this new way, it's the exact opposite. Images are created automatically. They're perfectly relevant to your topic. They're totally copyright safe, and they cost pennies. It's not even a fair fight.
Okay, so how does this new magic trick actually work? Well, it's not some far-off concept. It's a new kind of tool that's built to plug right into the way you already work.
So this is the heart of it all, a plugin, specifically a WordPress plugin. This isn't some separate website you have to go to, log into, and mess with. No, it lives right inside your WordPress editor. It literally reads your titles and your headings, and then creates and pops in the images for you. You don't have to download anything, upload anything, resize anything. It's all just done.
And you might be wondering, okay, who is this really for? The answer is, well, pretty much anyone creating content on the web. If you're a blogger just trying to save a few hours a week, this is for you. If you're a digital marketing agency juggling, a dozen client blogs, this is definitely for you. Or if you're a small business owner who wants your site to look amazing without a huge budget, yep, this is for you too. Now, I know what you're thinking. Advanced AI, automation, this has got to be super complicated to set up, right? That's the craziest part. It's actually been boiled down to a process that is so simple. We're talking 3 basic steps.
Okay, so step 1, you pick your AI brain, basically. Want something that looks like a real photograph? You'd probably choose a model like FLUX. Need something more artsy, maybe with text in it? Ideogram V3 is your go-to. Step 2, you just tweak a few settings. Tell it what size you want the images, maybe add a custom prompt like in a vintage style to match your brand. And then step 3, you just click generate. Or, and this is the best part, you just schedule it to do it for you on every single new post. You can literally set it up once and just forget it's even there.
All right, so we've covered the how. Now for the really important part, the why. Why is this such a big deal? Because we're not just talking about a slightly better tool. This completely rewrites the rules for creating content online.
$3. Let that sink in. 3. What on earth can you get for $3? Well, using an efficient AI model like FLUX Schnell, $3 can get you 1,000 images. 1,000. Now think about what that means. For less than the price of your morning latte, you can create enough visuals for literally hundreds of blog posts. This doesn't just compete with expensive stock photo sites, it makes them look completely obsolete.
And it's not just about the money, not by a long shot. We're talking about getting hours of your life back because you're not hunting for photos anymore. We're talking about a real SEO boost because search engines love unique images. Every single visual is perfectly on topic because it's generated from your words, and you never ever have to worry about copyright lawyers again. Plus, you get a perfectly consistent look across your entire site. It's the whole package.
Okay, let's get practical. It's incredible technology, but it's not pure magic. There are a few things you need to know to actually get this up and running.
So the plugin itself is kind of like a remote control. It needs to connect to an actual AI service to work. And you get to choose. If you want that jaw-dropping photorealism, you connect it to something like FLUX. If you need more creative stuff, you can use Ideogram through a provider called Replicate. And hey, if you still want a good old-fashioned stock photo sometimes, it can even connect to services like Pexels for that. You get options.
So, to make that connection, you'll need something called an API key from one of these providers. It's just a little piece of code that lets them talk to each other. Now, the AI providers themselves do charge a very small fee for each image you create. We're talking maybe a penny to 6 cents. It's super cheap. And then the plugin itself is an annual subscription, which pays for the team that builds and supports it.
And here's what that subscription looks like. The pricing is based on how many sites you need it for. For a single personal blog, it starts at just $49 a year. From there, it scales up with different plans for freelancers, businesses, and agencies who manage a whole bunch of websites.
So that brings us to the big final question. This technology does way more than just save you some time or cash. It fundamentally lowers the bar for creating beautiful, professional-looking content. It makes it accessible to everyone. So the real question we have to ask ourselves is, when creating amazing visuals becomes this cheap and this effortless, what's the new standard? What does it even mean to have high-quality content anymore? That's definitely something to chew on. Thanks for tuning in.